Adding a new field to a Salesforce object is not very challenging, but one of the things that you might want to consider is, can you put the field actually where you want it to appear on the layout that people are working with? And that's what we're going to explore today at Blue Cloud University. Hello, Cloud Dwellers, and welcome back. Now, today we want to go one step further than what we did in our last video, which is, well, creating a new field and putting it into an object is not crazy hard. Making sure that that field shows up in the format that you want is an additional step. And so today we're going to look at page layout and how we can make sure that the object that we want is going to appear where we want it to appear. And so in order to do that, let's jump on into Salesforce. Now, in our last video, we came in and we created a brand new field in our contacts. And the field that we created, if we come in here and look, is this field right down here. It's called VIP member. Now, it's not necessarily in the worst place. It's somewhere in our form, but maybe I don't want it right here. Maybe I want it closer to the top, or maybe I put it under the home phone, someplace where it's going to be easier to access and see. Again, we don't have to settle for wherever the field just happens to fall into our form. We have a lot of control about this. But in order to do this, we need to go in as an admin and move things around. So I'm going to cancel out of here. I'm going to roll over here to the upper right-hand corner, and let's click on that gear icon, and let's go into Setup. And once again, we're going to be working on the contact object. So I'm going to go to the Object Manager, and I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to look for the contact object. I'm going to give it a click. Now, again, with fields and relationships, if we come in here, we can come down here, we can see here's the VIP member field. It's a checkbox, but it's a field that we created. But if it's not showing up where we want it to show up, we're going to go to our page layouts view, and we're going to move some things around. So I'm going to click on page layouts. And by the way, we actually have 4 page layouts that pertain to the contact object. And what this allows us to do is have different teams or users have a slightly different view that is more or less customized to their needs. So for example, the contacts as marketing team members need to see them is covered here in this page layout. But for the sales team, it may be different, and this is their layout. The support team, again, may have completely different needs of what they need to access most quickly, and so they have a different layout here. And then there's a more generic contact layout right here. I'm going to click on the generic one to start. And when I come in here, it's going to allow me to see how things are pretty much laid out here. Now, up here at the top, these are a lot of fields that haven't been used. So there can be all these different fields that we have that actually don't even get used, don't show up in here because there's no need for it. And if I come down and look, there's my VIP member field that I created. Now, I decided I don't really want it here. I might want to have it someplace else. And it's just a matter of coming in here and grabbing the little dots over here on the left-hand side, and I can drag it around. Let me go here and let me put it under other phone. And so in this way, I've been able to move it to another place within my form, all right? Now, we're not going to get into too much of how we can build all these page layouts. We'll come in a future lesson and show you how we can drag these things around and make them happen. Right now, we're just repositioning an existing field where it needs to go, all right? So we have a fair amount of control, what section we want. By the way, notice here we can kind of break it down into information sections, again, depending upon what our needs are. So I'm going to say VIP member is no longer going to be under lead source. I've now put it under other mobile. I don't know. Is it going to look good? I can always come back and change it if it doesn't. But I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on the save button, and it's going to save my layout. Now we've gone in here and we've changed up the contact layout. Has that affected the other layouts? Well, let's look at the contact support layout. And if we come in here and take a look, there's the VIP member field, but it hasn't moved. It's still in the same old place. So if I wanted to change it in here as well, I could do that. Maybe I want to put it in a different place, but I might need to go into every single one of these and make this change. Now, there are some workarounds, but from a simple standpoint, on a basics beginner level, I wanted to show you that we can come in here and we can affect this by simply coming in and making the changes. Maybe we put this right up here, right under the person's name. How about that? We'll make that a little bit different, etc. Now, one of the other things I want to share with you is this button up here, which says Page Layout Assignment. So what does this mean? Well, what this means is, again, if we look at all of the different people who might be accessing this object, do we want to change which view that person sees? So if I go to my Page Layout Assignment, And in here, now, once again, I can see all the different profiles, all the different user profiles of all the different types of people that can use this org. And you'll see a lot of them have the default contact layout. Some have the contact sales layout. There's the marketing team. What? Surprising. They have the marketing profile. The sales team has the sales layout, right? And this is what we want to be able to do. And if I wanted to come in and change this, I'd come up here and click on this Edit Assignment button. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, up here, the Analytics Cloud Integration user, we want to be able to change what their view is. So we'd be able to say, okay, I want them to be able to have access to the sales layout. So you see I can change it there. And the, what are we there? Chat external user, let's make sure they can only see the contact layout. I guess that's what we have. Contract manager, maybe they need to see what the support team is doing. You get the point. So by coming in here, I can make these changes and reassign which layout, which individual profile is going to have access to when they come in and access contacts on their own, right? So simply all we want to be able to do, of course, is come in, find the field that's going to work for us. Let me save my work here. And then we can assign these different layouts to different people, again, depending upon what their needs are and overall what they need to be able to do. So it's not crazy complicated. Now, like most things in Salesforce, the ability to use these tools comes with use, right? The intuition of how do I use these things? How do I pull all the pieces together is just really about getting into the system and working with it. And eventually all those pieces start to snap together in your head. But we will talk more in the future about more complicated processes, such as creating a full page layout from scratch and how we can do that and apply it to various needs of various users. But for right now, that's all we have. So thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you next time.